Hello and welcome along to episode 8 of this Cricket 19 career, the England years with me, Daniel. We're continuing off with our previous pro, but we're focusing on our England international career. Now that will largely be international games, but today we have to take a break from that to talk about a problem. It's something that's occurred to me. The first 7 episodes, they've been far too positive. We've always succeeded. I know we had the odd bad day with the bat for England, but we then recovered with the ball. We had a brilliant spell. We had disappointment in the Super League final in Pakistan's T20 tournament. But again, we weren't really responsible. And whenever we've played in other games, we've done great. So I thought we'd focus on the area we've not yet been able to break in. And that's one-day internationals. And the reason for that has largely been a lack of domestic cricket. So over in Australia, we didn't really play in any one-day tournaments. Here in England, we're starting to struggle. So we're into the new season, and we've come back for our 5th game. We're yet to achieve a score with the bat of over 40. We're not really having a bowl because now as skipper there's 5 or 6 that are better than us, and we have to bear that in mind. And we also want to focus on getting our batting skills right, and confidence is key to that. So we want to put all of our concentration in there, but it's not quite gone right so far. And today we're back with a mammoth total to chase in a big game against Surrey. So you can see our opponent's got 331 for 5. Rory Burns, the England Test opener, with a century. Jason Roy got loads of runs. Sam Curran got a 39 not out at the end in quick fire time as well. And Dean Elgar getting a starring role too. We've not done so well. We've really struggled. Adil Rashid was expensive, and a few of those older players like him and Balance just starting to drop off now in attributes. So we've got to be careful, and we've got to start to adapt the squad. And maybe that does mean we'll have to bowl again soon. But in terms of our lineup, as you saw, we're opening with Jonny Bairstow, who's had a pretty rotten run himself, and Joe Root is number 3, the one man who's been saving us so far. Due to our struggles with the ball, I've had to bring in an extra all-rounder, but that's sort of had a knock-on effect then on the batting lineup. So there's all sorts of things to contemplate here. But most importantly, we need a performance with the bat. We've not breached 40 in any of the opening 4 games. We had 1 single-figure failure, and we've also had 3 scores between 27 and 35, and then got out at stupid times to stupid dismissals. So we need to score quicker today and stay in, and that's going to be a hard combination. So if you are looking forward to seeing a bit of struggle, and if we can finally break into shorter form cricket with England, we've of course played 1 T20, that was in the old career, and we've also managed to play a couple of test series now, and we've got another one coming up next week with the West Indies. But this is where it's all going wrong. So let's try and get into it and see if we can get some runs on the board. If you're looking forward to it, please put a thumbs up on it. If you want to see more from this series and daily FM20 content, subscribe down below and turn those notifications on. And we'll be back on Tuesday with our live stream as well, so you can come and hang out with us if you're available. But let's go and get into this one and see if we can avoid pain for the 5th time in a row. So as we go in to face the first ball, a quick thank you for your support, but Jonny Bairstow is going to need to be a bit of support to me as well. This one's outside off, so we're just leaving it. I know we're chasing a big score, 332, by far the biggest we've chased so far. And it must be said, Yorkshire have still won 3 of the 4 games. Joe Root has basically carried us a long way. Carver, the bowler, has come in and done a great job, as that one beats the outside edge as well, and he's a quicker bowler than we expect. In the last match it was Sussex, it was Jofra Archer who just beat us all ends up over and over again. We got 1-6, which I think was an edge, and aside from that, it wasn't a great performance. And you can see here already, the difference in confidence level when attacking the ball, it's just miles off. They've got the field right to us, they've got men all over, and I'm just so scared of playing outside off, which we're normally not worried about. As we finally get one away on the leg side, there's no fielder there, so it goes to the outfield, but the mid-on runs round and stops it at 2. No boundary to start with, but a couple of runs and a positive start. At least we haven't had a duck yet this season. So 2 off 4, but we're going to need more than that. We don't mind easing ourselves in, but it can't be long before we up the run rate. This one's outside off, we're not going near it, that's too far out. We trust ourselves later on, but for now we just need to build confidence, even if it's at the expense of the team early on. Once we get to 10 overs, that's when we have to go team first. We can push on, we can get runs. But they have opened up that glance on the leg side, but the ball's wide outside off. We've been trying cuts quite often regularly, but we got out a couple of times recently to that as well. And now, as Jonny Bairstow comes in, we only managed 2 off the first over. A tentative start to say the least. Well, no such struggle for Jonny Bairstow. First ball and he's off the mark. They've covered that option on the leg side where we got our first 2 runs, and this time we just glance. It's a very, very fine cut. Don't forget we got out in the England match to that. It was a brilliant catch on the leg side. But But in one day cricket, those men are often on the boundary, and that enables us to get a quick one. 3 off 7, Johnny Bairstow just scoring off every ball. He's making us look so bad here. If we can get one perfectly, it should go down to the boundary, but this time we don't even beat the fielder. Are we going to get some overthrows? That's what we could have hoped for, but it's not to be. And we're now just 3 off 8 as the field changes again. I'm tempted to go for that big ball over the leg side, but to be honest, we get so many of them wrong as we sweep one away pretty confidently. Still only going to be 1 though, and we're 4 off 9. But against the medium paces in particular, I do struggle with timing. It's probably the one area of bowling I'm really weak against. Although you could argue it's the fast ones recently. Now this is our option. There's space down the ground at mid-on, so let's go for a big shot, shall we? Down the ground. Oh, we're going to be out. We're going to be caught out, are we? Oh my word. We're out for 4. We went big. We didn't get it straight enough. And we have been bowled in our second over there. Yes, we maybe got through it a bit too quickly, but straight down the ground, you just presume that's the right option. How on earth we've got the timing so wrong? How on earth we've managed to go so wide? And to Aaron Finch, one of the best fielders in the world, we've got ourselves out for 4, and it is another absolute disaster. And to be honest, I was worried about the last 4. That's the lowest score of the lot. Joe Root comes in again alongside Bairstow to try and save the day, and I might have to drop myself down the order at this rate. Well, in fairness, they got very, very close, and our failure has cost us. If that shot we'd hit went for 4, we probably would have won that match. Joe Root 133 off 115, Johnny Bairstow a half century at over 1 a ball, and Leenan and Willie getting good contributions as well. But it's just not enough. Matt Dunn got 3 wickets including our one, and we probably gave him the confidence. And to be honest, with 3 balls left, we might have made it, but we got bowled out. Carl Carver finishing on 10, but Adil Rashid done for 2, and that's where the problem lies. Matthew Pillan's got a duck. He struggled with bat and ball actually, so he might be the one that we set out in the next one. And I'm not sure who we bring in for him. Do we bring in a set batsman like an Adam Life, like a Gary Balance, and then we drop down the order and maybe become an all-rounder? That's something I have to think about because we're not performing with the bat. And it probably takes a bit more pressure off us as well. Joe Root will stay at 3, but there's plenty of people who can open, so I think we'll look at that. But let's get back to the career pro. It's not often we get a chance due to a short match, so we're going to go and have a look, see how our selection status looks, see how our off the field attributes look, and how we're improving, because actually that's where it's not such a disaster. And we can see how our form's actually affected our chances internationally. It's something we might miss out on soon. Okay, so as it stands, we've let Surrey top of the table with that win. They've won 4 of their 6 games, we've won 3 of our 5, and we play Middlesex today, who are in the same position, so the winner goes joint top. We've got 2 more one-day games after that before we go back to first-class cricket and the county championship, and that should build us up for the test series against the Windies. So we'll have a look at the calendar in a moment, but let's start by having a look at those games beforehand so I can show you just how bad the form is. I don't think we're in Division A, are we? We're in Division B. So let's go and have a look from the start of the season. The first one, Yorkshire won by 103 runs against Nottinghamshire. And in this one we got 31 off 33, a good solid start, but again Bairstow and Root had to save the day. With the ball we didn't have a performance. In fact I don't think we've bowled an over yet this season. Let's go to round 2. In that one we lost to Northamptonshire by 8 wickets. 252 we got. And we got 7. We failed in that one. Tim Southey, the international bowler, getting us out. We then beat Somerset by 5 wickets. Again, 32 off 33. Solid start. Fell away. Joe Root, the England skipper, comes and saves the day. And in number 4, it was much the same story, to be honest. We had a Duckworth-Lewis victory after a rain-affected game. We won by 5 wickets, but Jofra Archer made our life a nightmare. We got 27 off 26. Before unfortunately getting out to the spinner because we were trying to attack him because we were struggling against Archer. They had Garton in as well, who got Bairstow early. England international bowler, featured in the test matches we played in. So that's where the little struggles are at the moment. But overall the team's doing okay, and that we should be proud of skipper. But we've got a lot of work to do next time out. So we're going to try our best to get back in form for that one and hopefully get ourselves in with a shout at the ODI side. But that's going to be a long way off. Let's go and have a look at our statistics though. I want to show you the form difference between those levels. If we have a look at the test matches we've played, our average is now 36. And again, we mentioned about the strike rate. Even in first class cricket now it's only 100. We had a brilliant spell in Australia where we were scoring really quickly. But in the county championship here we're not even close to 1 a ball. So that suggests there really is something weird with Test cricket bowling. We talked about the line and the fields just leaving us the chance to get 4 after 4. We've never got a 6 though in Test cricket. That has happened in the first class game where our average is 65 almost. But then again, our T20 average is better than our one day average, and that's absolutely astonishing. 33 in T20 is exceptional, but 32 is not the best first class record. The bowling figures are very good where we've had it, but we're trying to turn away from that a little bit now. But I might be forced to in the shorter forms because the batting seems to be a problem for us. The dream was always to be a Test batsman, so do we then focus on being an all-rounder in the other forms? Let me know what you think of that, but let's move on to selection status. This is where we need to look. We're a fringe member for the West Indies tour of England, so we're going to be in the squad, but we're not going to be skipper and we're not going to have a key role, and the same for the Pakistan tour just after. We're also being considered for the T20 series. But then it says we're expecting selection for the ODI tour against Ireland. Now that might be really beneficial to us because playing against Ireland is our only chance to impress, and it's probably a weaker opposition than some of the county sides. No offence intended, but they're not rated very well in this game. However, for the Australia tour, the T20 and the ODIs, we're down at getting attention there, so I don't think against the big opposition yet we're ready to be selected in the ODIs. But I'm really hoping we'll get a chance there in the Ireland tour, and if we can get a big score there, maybe we can play well with the ball as well. That's when we get our opportunity. Otherwise though, we're a long way off the IPL. We have been made captain for the upcoming Caribbean Cricket Cup. That's going to be something we can focus on, hopefully get to a final of. And we're obviously captain of all the English tournaments now, but how long will that last the way we're going? So it hasn't actually had too much of an adverse effect on our ODI selection status. I guess the one thing that's good is that we're playing Ireland, and it gives us a chance for them to experiment with the squad and perhaps do things that they wouldn't otherwise. In terms of skills, our batting ability continues to improve, but it's not showing in the short forms of the game. So maybe we've got to work on attacking, and then maybe the unconventional shots. Do we learn how to improve the sweep? That's something we don't bring out very often and would help with the finer cuts. The bowling is maxed out to what you can be as a batting all-rounder, and the fielding's still improving gradually as well. The perks are there. We've got the batting bonus to try and get it up as quickly as possible, but as you can see, form is the key and confidence is gone at the moment. So let me know in the comments how you think we're going to get on, but if you did enjoy this episode, please put a thumbs up on it. We'll finish on a schedule so you can see how our calendar looks at the moment. We've got Middlesex coming up in the next game, and then we've got another 2 one-day matches, firstly against Warwickshire and then against Worcestershire. We've then got 2 first-class games against Surrey and Sussex. Surrey, the opposition that just beat us in that game. And then June should be a full tour against the West Indies before we head over there ourselves to play in the Caribbean Cricket Cup. So more T20 action to come in the summer, but we've got the West Indies to worry about. So all being well, and that we don't lose our place in the side, that is when we'll be back on Wednesday. Sunday the 2nd of June for the first day at Edgbaston, as we play our second home test match. We played Ireland last time, but this is a big test. It's the West Indies, it is a big tour, and hopefully we'll be able to come out on top. We've really done well with the test bat so far, so let's hope that can continue. If you'd like to see more of this series and my daily FM20 content, please do subscribe down below and turn that notification bell on. You'll get alerts as episodes release, including a weekly live stream series every Tuesday morning with a great community hanging out and having a laugh. And then on Sunday there's the stadium review series as well, and tomorrow features one of the biggest and most talked about grounds on the English football pyramid. So please do come and check that out and let us know if you've visited yourself. A really special one for us after the home ground Luton last week. For me that's always special, but this one maybe just tops it. We'll wait and see. Let's see how our verdict is. Finally, if you are a football fan, please do check out our podcast In the Eye Above. We've been interviewing loads of pros over the last few months. There's also matchday vlogs and topical podcasts, and it's been going really well recently. So thank you so much for your support with it. If you haven't checked it out yet, do give it a try. Again, just a bit of light-hearted fun. We have a laugh, we hear stories, and we get involved with the action. But a big thanks as always for your support on both channels. I really do appreciate it, and I hope you're still enjoying this series, especially as we turn to something a little bit negative today. I didn't want it to all be bright and roses. But let's move on. We'll be back on Wednesday for the Windies, and hopefully we'll be back in good form with the bat.